I need a volunteer.
And here we go with the start of truck C main. Blake Pickett leads. Colin Herzig trying to drive up to the inside of Dakotah Phend. Has to check up before the next.
Minutes to go.
Yeah.
Other than that,
your
no
glass
good.
Is half full. Dakotah 11. Come by. Eighth on the grid, up to 4th and 5th.
It's going to be interesting to see Dakotah Phend, national champion, out there.
Oh, collision there going over the step up. And I think that was Quagraine and Hinz. No, they're fine. Hinz just
got all
with
orange.
Fuller. That's just ugly start here to this Pro Truck C main. Kind of thought it was going to get intense. Fuller jumping across. I think it was Herzig there. Luckily landed back on his wheels, so he's going to slip back to, I think, 5th. If I was Blake Pickett, I'd be telling these guys behind me, keep smashing each other.
Yeah, this is. I keep looking at the screen, and yes, it does say Pro Truck.
Oh,
wow.
Fuller just trying to drive it in on Westergaard.
So good battle for the final bump up. I know it's super early, but it's Herzig, Hinz, and Westergaard all doing battle.
Hinz with a great move up the top of the hill on Westergaard. Tried to pinch him off into the pipe, hit the pipe himself. Westergaard getting by for the position.
Westergaard with Karma on his side. He could have stuck it in on top of the bridge, but you can see that he backed off, and then as soon as they landed, Hinz got out of the way, and Westergaard got that spot.
Not sure who that was getting stuck up on the pipe there. Pickett, Sousa, Herzig, Hinz, and Westergaard at the line last time by, but that's all going to shake up, and someone dropping out. Oh no, I think it was Mark Sousa. Yeah, Sousa break it down because Hinz up to the 3rd spot, Westergaard to 4th, and Quagraine recovering to 5th. Joao Figueiredo up to 6th, Aaron Gomez from 14th on the grid to 7th, and Blake Pickett with a 4.9 second lead.
Blake needs to get why the getting's good. It's Colin Herzig in 2nd, 4.9 back with Tommy Hinz only a 1.5 seconds behind him. Westergaard and JQ rounding out your top 5. Joao Figueiredo in 6th with Gomez 7th, Caldwell 8th. Dakotah Phend still marred in that 9th spot.
And here's Dakotah Phend trying to get around Caldwell and then Gomez. Got around Caldwell there. And actually Gomez yeah. So it's Joao Figueiredo that's dropped to the 6th spot. And Phend trying to keep Caldwell behind him, just sort of moved over that last triple and dared him to run him over. And then we pick back up with Colin Herzig in the 2nd spot, who's 6.2 seconds behind. Blake Pickett got out front and has left the field in his dust.
Pretty much. That's the name of the game, obviously. Start on the pole, get out front, never look back. And here we come with your leader down the front side. Nice and smooth on the first triple, nice and smooth on the second. There's a little bit different perspective of that right side triple in the step down, or the bridge as we've been calling it.
Pickett under the bridge now. You see him flash through that shadow, and a 6.9 second gap at the line last time by. Pickett in an opportune position right now just to go out and do his own thing. He doesn't have to worry about cars behind him. He can come in and do his pit stops whenever he'd like. Even if he, unless he's really deep in lap traffic, he could stop at any time and be all by himself in pit lane when you got this much time, behind you like that.
And still have a gap leading pit lane, but he's got such a big lead and now up to 8 seconds.
Yeah, 8.2 over Colin Herzig and Joseph Quagraine, 2nd and 3rd. Quagraine driving the borrowed Team Associated rig.
It looks like Carson Phipps was off, had a 2-minute 4-second lap time, now back on. And of course your second qualifier, Sousa, off the track Blake Pickett.
I think Pickett from Carolina, one of the Carolinas. Please hold.
Please hold. We're consulting Facebook.
Right.
It's Aaron and Facebook versus the chat. Who's going to win? Blake Pickett is from... Man, we got slow internet up here.
Well, I'm tethering off my phone so I don't use broadcast internet.
Roger.
Siler City, North Carolina. Got it.
Carolina boy. Waldron beats the internet.
Pickett, Herzig, Quagraine, top 3. Aaron Gomez from 14th on the grid up to 4th. Tommy Hinz in the 5th spot. Here is Gomez and Hinz. They're battling for the 4th position, running 2 seconds behind Joseph Quagraine. That's the closest battle up front at the moment.
Impressive from Gomez.
Yeah, no kidding.
14th, basically finished second in the D main, and now within the first 6 minutes, all the way up into the 4th spot, battling for a transfer.
Yeah, that orange truck there is Joseph Quagraine, just ahead of the red and yellow of Colin Herzig, and then Gomez and Hinz. So this is second, third, 4th, and 5th. Was someone else in second and dropped down?
Yeah, it was. Who was? No.
Maybe it's just been Pickett, Quagraine, and Herzig. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Quagraine wasn't up there. I know Herzig was up there, and Hinz.
Oh, I think maybe Herzig dropped back. Was Herzig running second?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, okay. So Quagraine moving up to the 2nd spot, dropping Herzig to 3rd. They're still okay. Top 3 going into the B main event coming up later. Herzig railing around the outside under the bridge there. Joe Bornhorst was explaining to us last night, you just sort of drive out into the berm and let the pipe turn your car. That's the best way to miss the bumps. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets a little narrow under the bridge over there. When I was out there marshaling, I was kind of thinking about that, and it does narrow up quite a bit. So
got his Quagraine coming into pit lane for his stop at the 7:10 mark.
Looks like Herzig in as well.
And you see
oh
boy.
Somebody didn't look to the left before they set that car down, and there was a collision.
Oh. Another one there.
Not one of these guys is looking to the left.
Nope.
That is like on page
Pitman 101.
Yeah, page 1 of the rule book.
So here's Quagraine and Gomez on the left side of your screen as we've got the pit lane on the right. Looks like doesn't look like any imminent pit stops coming up right now. In fact, it looks like everyone has come in and exited. So here's Quagraine and Gomez, and this should be a battle for the 2nd spot. Gomez moving around Herzig after pit stops, battling for what could be another bump up going to the B main if he finishes in the top 3 here. Quagraine sideways over the double, heading under the bridge. They've got a 2.5 seconds back to Colin Herzig in 4th, and then another 3 seconds back to Tommy Hinz in 5th. We pick up here with Hinz and Phend, and Dakotah trying to fight his way up there. He's up to the 6th spot, and with 5th right ahead of him, and that's another 3 seconds to Herzig in 4th.
Yeah, he's definitely got his work cut out for him, but we're not quite halfway there yet, so he's got plenty of time to do it. But unfortunately, Dakotah, with talking to Chloe and whatnot, and watching him obviously.
Oh, there
with
we
my
go.
own eyes.
Hinz with the mistake. Phend picks up the spot around the outside.
Dakotah kind of struggling this weekend in all classes. He's normally used to running up front, and he just hasn't been on pace the entire day, as a couple other superstars here in attendance. And the one common denominator is the track is difficult. It's got character, the different obstacles, rhythm. Sometimes it's wet, sometimes it's dry, sometimes it's windy, sometimes it's dusty, sometimes the sun's out, sometimes the clouds are out. So an emotional roller coaster here this weekend. And there's the battle. Looks like Gomez and Herzig doing battle for that final transfer. Gomez getting by Herzig as they go underneath the bridge and motor down the back straightaway. So great run for Aaron Gomez from the D main, trying to get all the way up to the B in that pink. I believe he's with the HB Racing team now.
Yep, and it would have been a great opportunity.
Ooh, inside pass by Herzig, going to take back that second spot, or third spot rather.
And then making a mistake there, Gomez has to hit the brakes not to hit him in the off-camera corners. And with these two battling back and forth, that is going to slow them down and allow 5th, 6th, 7th place to start catching up. So that could work into Dakotah's favor, but he's got to help himself out.
Did you see Gomez come into the pits, 10 down, 10 to go, maybe working on a 1 pit stop strategy?
Oh, man. That's so stressful, though, with so many, tight corners with jumps coming right out of it, and you get any sort of wheel spin, you're going to be using up more fuel. That's risky.
That is very risky, because then you got to also rely on the pit man to make sure
the tank is completely
full.
Yeah, frankly, with how great of a start he had, and the fact that he got up front so quickly, he should have immediately switched to a 2-stop strategy. This was an unnecessary risk.
Right, unless he's done the math and ran the time and just figured out a way to.
Unless he totally knows.
Unless he's good for 14, 15 minutes guaranteed,
Yeah.
Gomez out, I'm told.
Oh, man. See, unnecessary.
Actually, front.
Yeah, that's not fuel.
Yeah, that's not fuel. That's carnage. That's
bone saw.
No popping that back on.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. He was on it. I would have loved to see the outcome of that one to see if he would have made it.
So instead, that moves Dakotah Phend up to the 5th spot. Tommy Hinz to 4th. And Phend, the top 5, separated by 15.6 seconds. It is a pretty big gap from Herzig back to Hinz. It's 3.5 seconds, and then another 2.3 back to Dakotah Phend in 3rd. So still a lot of work to be done for Hinz or Phend to get back up to the top 3 as we follow along with 3rd place right here, Colin Herzig, the final transfer spot.
So it's shocking to see Joao Figueiredo running down here in the C main after qualifying 2nd in the Pro Buggy A final. So his truggy just might not be on point, or everybody else's might be that much better. So Joao, now you tell me, Aaron, after 3 days of calling him by one thing.
Yeah, in 12 minutes and 15 seconds of hearing your
Joao, Joao.
You were saying
potato,
Yao.
Potato.
No.
Yao Ming.
Strawberry, apple, not even the same. And there he is.
What's that all about?
No, that's Tespin.
Oh.
No. Here is Joao Figueiredo in the Kyosho truck, and one of the European drivers that did really well in buggy. Doesn't run truggy a whole lot. Doing it for the extra track time, because
which could explain a lot.
Yeah, you can't come here and just run one class. It's not good. Up over the front side triple. Unfortunately, don't think he's got a shot here at the Pro Truck B main event. Closest battle at the moment is Tommy Hinz and Mason Fuller in 5th and 6th, as Dakotah Phend has got by. Here's Woodyard leading. Okay, so Woodyard a lap down to Tommy Hinz. Hinz currently in the 5th spot. So I don't see Mason Fuller anywhere there at all. He was right behind.
Look at Dakotah. Battle for the bump up.
And new fast lap of the race for Phend last time by 38.4. Cut off a 1.5 seconds from the gap. Cut that gap to Colin Herzig in half. Pickett and Quagraine out front comfortably, but Herzig and Phend and Woodyard there crashed under the bridge. And looks like Quagraine there doing a little. Oh, Quagraine with the gator. Chomp.
So that's going to be dragster parachute
and
down the straightaway.
He's actually dropped back there. So Herzig and Phend, the 2nd and 3rd, as the alligator, Joseph Quagraine, dropped into the 4th spot, and he could be a sitting duck for these drivers right here, including Tommy Hinz. So Dakotah Phend, still 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to go, has worked his way up there. Here's Phend down the back straightaway, now in 3rd. So Phend through the double, triple, jumping up onto that plateau. And he can see Colin Herzig just ahead, giving him something to shoot for. Keep that focus sharp and keep him pushing. Blake Pickett's just 2.7 seconds up on this battle for the second spot. Herzig 43.7, 43.9 for Dakotah Phend, giving up about 0.15 of a second that time, but Herzig out of shape at the top of the hill, making another mistake here coming down the hill, and Phend now right on him. Herzig out of shape onto the bridge. Phend by to the inside, coming onto the straightaway.
Excellent battle for second, although they're both securely in. It looks like Tommy Hinz 8 seconds behind, so no pressure from behind for Colin and Dakotah, but once again, as I said earlier, these guys are competitive. Even though they're both locked in the main, barring any catastrophe, they still want to beat the next guy. Everybody wants to get every spot they can. Some guys drive with their hearts, some drive with their minds. So we'll see how.
Some drive with neither.
Some drive with neither. Some drive with their fingers.
Yeah, Phend and Herzig will both likely have to pit. I don't remember if they came in for the second time. They would be right around 7.5, 8 minutes on that their second tank. So still a lot going on here. 4 minutes left to go, including a pit stop. You have one last chance for bad luck to strike, but Blake Pickett with about a 5.5 second lead on Phend last time by. Now it's just 3.7. New fast lap of the race again for Dakotah Phend, pouring it on at the end, 38.3.
Yeah, and the race announcer just saying Dakotah 38.3, that fast lap. He is running now 3.6, so it looks like Dakotah is starting to figure it out. Either that or his car works better when the tires get worn out, or Blake is backing up to him a little bit. But we haven't mentioned much about Blake. He has been checked out exactly how he wants it.
Dakotah was punched, sliding around that last 180 before that back triple there. Let's see if he does it again here. Yeah, getting that TLR truck to rotate. Pico power breaking the tires loose. And here he comes, jumping right over the top of Woodyard. Looks like that's Pickett off the track, going up the hill off the bridge. So a battle for the lead with 3:15 to go. Phend getting a run up the inside on the straightaway. Pickett trying to hold on to it. Phend checking up, hitting the brakes there, and didn't force the issue. No need with 3 minutes to go. Pickett at this point is sitting duck. Phend has been the fastest truck on the track.
Yeah, Pickett has been comfortable. He hasn't really had to race with anybody from the start. He got away, and we got a new leader as Phend just blows right by the inside.
Goodbye.
Not sure if Blake is just like, have it, take it, go. You know, I just want to make it into the next show.
Here,
so
take my wallet, my watch. Just leave me alone.
Just leave me alone. Don't ruffle my feathers. Just get by and let me do my thing. But Dakotah Phend, the phenom,
whipped out over the double to get the truck pointed in the right direction.
You would think that this was, the last lap for the World Championship. Dakotah still not feeling comfortable, just trying to strap it up and just push it as hard as he can. Maybe he's testing. Nice bicycle up on 2 wheels through the whoops, and a nice save as well.
And to put this in perspective, he was 13th after just the first half lap. The first time they came by the stripe, nearly dead last. And it wasn't a linear climb through the field. He got up and he dropped back, and he got up and he dropped back, and then you started picking them off one by one by one. First pit stop just fine. You probably pitted the second time, I'm guessing, because with 1:50 left to go. In the pit lane, clean pit stops, just getting out there and doing the same thing lap by lap by lap. And then like 4 minutes ago, something happened. It was like he shifted into second gear, and now he's recognizable, Dakotah Phend. Fastest truck on the track, and he's going to make the end of this one look easy.
I'm guessing, well, they haven't been on the track for this long period. And for those of you that are familiar, when these tires are brand new, they got real sharp edges on them. And that makes the car a little uneasy to drive when all these edges of the tires are catching all these little nooks and crannies all over the track. So my guess is that the tires have worn down enough now where Dakotah can slide over these little nooks and crannies, and he figured out something, and that's why he's charging hard. I guarantee that's been a problem, because they got one 6-minute practice run, one 5-minute practice run, and then 3 6-minute qualifiers. Now they're 19 minutes in, so they've never had to go this long on a set of tires.
Yeah, 38.395, the fastest lap of the race, coming on lap number 24 of what's going to be a 31-lap run. And so Phend, with 45 seconds left to go, should make it by for one more. Looks like the top 3 will make it by for a 31st lap. So when they cross the line this next time, they'll be locked into the main event. There's really no chance of 4th place Tommy Hinz making it by for that 31st lap. And so Phend now on cruise control has already pulled out a 2.6 second lead. Checking him out from our Team Associated Track Cam.
So closing in on the final 15 seconds. Looks like Dakotah is going to squeeze by for another lap. Not sure. Well, Blake should make it too with 10 seconds to go.
Blake
He's only.
Herzig will both make it.
So that would actually guarantee those top three, and actually pretty easily to say those three are the bump ups, which they are now because they're the only ones that are going to make it by. So now it's just
starting position. Actually, battle for second there, dropping off the bridge. Herzig was right behind Pickett. He was 1.7 seconds behind at the finish line, but right behind him in that back right corner as we are still following along with Dakotah Phend, the race leader. But not sure if Herzig is going to force the issue going into this final lap, as there's really no need. But Dakotah Phend winning the C main here, bumping it up to the B with the fastest lap of the race on the
final
last timer on the track. And Herzig hitting the pipe there in the final corner. Pickett takes the second spot, Colin Herzig third.
What are the odds that he'll leave those tires on for the B?
0.
0.
Might put some one runs on, but I think these are probably shot. So Dakotah Phend taking the win. Blake Pickett second, Colin Herzig third, Dillon Caldwell fourth, and Joseph Quagraine rounding out the top 5 in the Pro Truck C main event. And here's our ProTech RC pit lane cam as the pitmen debrief before the start of the A main practice sessions. Thank you so much to Jimmy Babcock for joining us in here in the Savox booth.
Thank you guys very much for having me. It was fun. I got to head back out and probably give Kenny a little break and run some of this controlled practice here. And thanks again. Hopefully I can come back in and do